Hey guys, welcome back to the Crazy Cozy Corner. We're gonna do something kind of the same, but a little bit different. So we're gonna do another TBR video, but I'm gonna condense like this one instead of several months that the last one took. I'm gonna do it like give myself 2 weeks to see how many books I can finish. And so we'll see if I condense that to a week, but I think we'll start off. I think we'll just grab one at a time so that I don't feel bad about not finishing. But let's get on to the video. So here's our TBR box. Let's draw some names. So this one. There we go. Let me actually see, because this one might be, no, actually, it's not the only O I own. So, Order of the Majestic. That is just right here in front of me. I think this is a teen book, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, ages 8 to 12. So, like, it's more like a children's book, but it looked cool. And I was interested in it. It's book 1. I actually got that right. So it is 426 pages, but the writing, like, this will be an easy read as long as it's not super boring. Let's see, what's this about? "13-year-old daydreamer Joey's life has been turned upside down. After acing a series of tests, he's declared a genius and awarded a full scholarship at a special, year-round school. He's understandably devastated until he takes one last test, and the room around him disappears, replaced by the interior of an old theater. There, Joey meets the washed-up magician Redondo the Magnificent, and makes a shocking discovery. Magic is real. But sadly, there isn't much left in the world. It may be too late to save what little remains. But for the first time in his life, Joey wants to try, really try, to do something big. Soon, he's swept up in a centuries-old conflict between two rival societies of magicians, the Order of the Majestic, who fights to keep magic alive and free for all, and the dark magicians of the invisible hand, who hoard magic for their own evil ends. The endless battle for control of magic itself has reached a tipping point for Redondo and the Order to survive. For Redondo and the Order to survive, Joey must inherit the lost legacy of Harry Houdini. Will he prove himself worthy, or will the invisible hand strike him down? The answer will depend on Joey's ability to believe not just in magic, but himself. So, I'm going to be honest with you. I very rarely read, like, male point of view. Well, how true is that? Most of the books I think I read last year were practically just female point of view. So we'll see how I enjoy this. I did read Percy Jackson and books like that growing up, so there is hope that I will enjoy this, but we shall see. I will, I guess, check in with updates or when I finish the book. We'll find out. It has been done. I finished, oh there it is, like my bookmark. I finished The Order of the Majestic. So I had to remind myself through it that it's a children's book. And so, like, when I got into the right frame of mind for the, like, content, because it's kind of light and fluffy and a little, like, yeah, you were saving the world, but it's a little bit different than darker adult books that, honestly, I've kind of gotten used to reading. And so it was kind of refreshing to go back to something, like, I would have eaten this up as a kid. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to continue the series. It kind of tied it up kind of nicely. It did introduce, like, a newer villain at the end, but it wasn't like cliffhanger, have to finish it. I think I'm gonna think on it, but I think I'm going to unhaul it because I don't think I'm going to read the rest of the series, and I don't see myself rereading this book. And since I don't own the rest of the series, I'm not going to go out of my way to get the rest, you know? Like, it was a good book. Like, if I was a kid, probably would have been a 4-star. For me, as an adult, it's a 3-star. Yeah. Nothing super crazy about it. I enjoyed my time. At first, I was like, this is rough, but that's because I was in the wrong frame of mind. And yeah, if you have kids that like a little fantasy and like can read chapter books, this is a good one. And even as an adult, if you can remove yourself from like the prejudice against young adult and children's and teen books, like, then I think this would be a great one. So the Order of the Majestic is about a young boy named Joey kind of stumbling upon a alternate dimension by planned but by accident, and he discovers magic, and he meets Renando the Magnificent. Is that what he's called? Renando the Magnificent, yeah. And he tries to convince Renando to teach him, but Renando doesn't want to teach. He wants them to learn. And so Renando is inspired to have a little competition, and he invites 2 other young mages or magicians to come join this competition. And because they're trying to fight over this wand, to see who would succeed, whatever, would get the wand after Renando passed away because he's sick, which is revealed early on in the book. But it's just kind of Joey's adventure of learning to believe in himself, and that, like, learning that if he puts his mind to something, like, nothing is impossible. And so it's definitely worth the read. It tied it up a little bit. It tied it up nicely, at least this part of the storyline, in my opinion. And so, yeah, definitely worth the read. I don't know how long the series is, but you could just read the first one if you chose. But yeah, but that is one marked off. Let's go draw another. Divergent. All right, that's literally right here. So, Divergent was a very popular dystopian society book back in the olden days, which was when I was in elementary school, and maybe a little bit, maybe middle school. But yeah, this is, what's her name? Trey. What do you call her? I don't remember. Oh well, it doesn't matter. We follow this girl who doesn't fit it cleanly into one characteristic, so she is divergent. And she joins a certain, like, fighting one. I don't know. It doesn't have any of the description, and it's been a little bit since I've read it. Let's see how long it is. Not too bad. It's 487 pages. And unfortunately, unlike the Order of the Majestic, the spacing is a lot closer together, so it's not going to be as quick. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so I'm having a hard time with Divergent. I will finish it, but I'm not enjoying it. So I'm going to pull another book so that I have a palette cleanser in the middle. So I have my box right here, but I'm also holding the phone with my hand, so this is going to be fun. Okay, I guess, here we go. So no, I'm not looking. Okay. Oh dear. Hopefully this one's good. This is The Chef by James Patterson. And so let's grab it. Okay, got it. Mild Tragedies. I bent a book, but I got it. So, the chemist got stuck to the chef. It was a library book, and so when I took off everything, there was a sticky part left on the book, unfortunately, and it stuck to the shelf. But it's a thriller. The chef, not the chemist. And I have no idea what it's about. But it's... Is that the same guy? No, I don't think so. We'll find out. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think it's about that other person. Oh, no, it's a different author. It's James Patterson and Mac Delalo. But this is about police detective by day, celebrity food truck chef by night, now Caleb Rooney has a new title, Most Wanted. In the carnival days leading up to Mardi Gras, Detective Caleb Rooney comes under investigation for a murder he's accused of committing in the line of duty. As a major crimes investigator for the New Orleans Police Department, has his sideline at the killer chef food truck given him a taste for murder? I know it's supposed to make sense, and I'm sure it makes sense, but it doesn't to me. While fighting the charges against him, Rooney makes a pair of unthinkable discoveries. His beloved city is under threat of attack, and these would-be terrorists may be local. As crowds of revelers gather, Rooney follows a fearsome trail of clues racing from outlying districts into the city center. He has no idea what or who he'll face in defense of his hometown, only that innocent lives are at stake. I'm gonna be honest. It does not sound like my type of book. I got them from a garage sale because, I liked his Maximum Ride books, but those are also like middle grade teenage books, where these are like thrillers, so more adult than teenager. So I will let you know what I think. I think most of the books that I did get from this garage sale are going to be unhauled after I read them, but we will see. Maybe I'll find a new book that I really enjoy. I don't know. So we did. I was actually surprised, but I ended up finishing Divergent first. Now, hot takes. Beatrice, she's a brat. And I didn't like her. That's it. I did, however, start to enjoy the series, or the book a little bit more as we got on through the exposition and stuff. Hold on. Let's see. What is that? Is that just reflection? Sorry. You see the little... We'll see if it's actually there, but it's bothering me. Anyways, so Divergent, it's a dystopian society. There's 4 or 5 factions, and you have to live like by that one principle that faction stands by. So there's like selflessness, knowledge, bravery, what else? Honesty. It might just be 4. But when you reach your age 16, you take this test and you have to choose the faction that you're going to live in. And once you choose the faction, that faction becomes your family. And so it's like faction over blood is what they stand by. But we follow Beatrice and her not feeling like she fits completely in her home faction. So she switches over and she feels like she fits in a little bit better. But then there's parts of her from like that are truly her, like her selfless acts. Like she's not completely her old faction, but she's not completely her new faction, and she's just going through the trials to be initiated, and only 10 members that transferred and chose to or the Dauntless Born. That's the only one that I remember, by the way. Is like only 10 of the recruits get to make it in. Well, the fun part is there's more going on behind the scenes, and so it's a little weird because it's not really, it's kind of seeded throughout the entire story, but it's not. And so it's like a big flip when like we start talking about war and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I will continue the series. I didn't even remember most of this book because I've read Divergent before, but I didn't remember most of it. So it was cool going back, but I haven't read Allegiant or Insurgent, so I'm interested to see how the story goes. But I rated this 3 stars, and that's another book off my TBR, physical TBR. Okay, I don't think I regret to inform you, but I regret to inform you that I will be DNFing this book. I am not a fan of blatantly racist and Islamophobic police work. I don't know when this book was written, but it's perpetuating some very harmful stereotypes of Muslims and the Islamic faith, and I don't appreciate it. The fact that the detective, the one thing that he goes off of is this person who is legally in the country and is Muslim and was on their watch list, but they sent to Homeland Security, and the guy got checked out. So, not saying that Homeland is always perfect, but to make decisions based on just those criteria, I think is absolutely disgusting. And it only works for the book because it's a book, and it made me very, very angry. And then barging into establishments and accusing them of terrorism, which in the book obviously it is, but there's a problem with that, and that's my main qualm with the book. Another one is it is supporting adultery, which I think if you willingly made a covenant or contract now, but if you willingly made that contract and you're married, you don't step outside that. You get a divorce and then go for it. That's your prerogative. Now, I've never been married, but my father cheated on my mother, so but our main guy, he's not the one, he's divorced, but he's going after this married woman, and I think you're just some kind of something if you go after a married person. And so that paired with the racist and Islamophobic stuff, I couldn't. I'm halfway through the book, and I couldn't. But if that's not stuff that bothers you, this follows a ex-cop, Caleb Rooney. I don't even want to talk about it. This is not looking good for James Patterson's adult books, but I have to draw the line somewhere, and this is my line. No, absolutely not. We're not going to be spewing hatred. I don't care how old a book is. You fix it. But, so, I will not finish that. But on a lighter note, I got in the audiobook for City of Glass, and so I am on chapter 7, so about 150 pages in, and this is going to be the other book that I'm going to read for this TBR tackle challenge for sure. I think I have till next Wednesday, which it is Friday night, so I don't have much time, but hopefully I can at least get this knocked off and enjoy that for the month. But yeah, well, I'll see you in the next clip. It's done. I spent pretty much all of today listening and reading this book. City of Glass is the third in the Mortal Instruments series. And it's still disturbing. Not only, this is the book where the incestuous relationship between Jace and Clary gets kind of figured out they're not actually siblings, but you have to double down and have her actual brother kiss her. And I know from like spoilers in other videos that it doesn't die in this book, like that, like it continues on. And so like that's one part of the story that I will not understand. I will never understand it. It's gross. But like I said, I'm gonna finish the series, but probably get rid of all the books after. But anyways, this book, it's the end of Valentine, but they're going to Idris. Jace doesn't want Clare in Idris, and so he lies to her and makes her miss their portal, and so she draws her own portal, which is illegal. But we gloss over that. Like, there's no repercussions of her entering Idris and Alicante illegally. But we do find out that her brother is not Jace and is actually someone with demon blood instead of angel blood that Jace has. And it was a wild ride. And I don't know, I guess I've never seen someone like that I love killed right in front of me, but if I were to have like an angel say that I could ask one thing, I don't think that asking for one person to be saved would be my wish. It depends on like where I am in that point, but unfortunately death is a part of life and you just have to learn to move on. But I digress. Maybe I wouldn't know. I don't know what I would even do in that situation, but alas. But we still have 4 days, so that means I can draw another to try to finish before Wednesday. So let's do it. Okay, what is it? It's upside down. Oh, it's the Two Twisted Crowns. So this is the second. It's right in front of me. Second book in, I don't know what this series is called. Is it The Shepherd King? Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. But I read the first book during my 24-hour readathon, and it was decent. Is this the last one? I don't know. We'll see. It might not be. I feel like they'll just continue counting up because that's what fantasy writers do. But yeah, we'll see. It is Wednesday, and I read 12 pages in the 3 days since I saw you. But in my defense, I had a state exam, and then I was teaching, and then today I started studying for my next exam. So been a little bit busy. Free time, I wanted to brain rot. So yeah, so I did not finish it for this TBR tackle, but I will continue it, and hopefully you'll see it at the end of the month in or beginning of next month for the wrap up. But I don't know. I don't think we got a lot of books taken care of. Let's see. City of Glass, Divergent, and I DNF'd The Chef, and then didn't finish Two Twisted Crowns. But hey, 2 books. I still haven't decided if I'm keeping the Shadowhunter series. I have to finish it first before I make that call. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time in this weird kind of video. Of course, there's always going to be that insert of the Shadowhunter series until I finish it for it randomly popping up on my Libby, ready to be read. So, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Are they siblings? If you watched to the end. See you in the next. Bye.